Hello and welcome to another episode of Try Talk. Today with me as ever is my wonderful co-host, Aneta Grabmuller-Soldati. We have another host joining us today, Isla Hedley. Isla, I hope I'm not spoiling too much, but she just won the two World Cup races in Weston Park. That's also one of the reasons why we have her on. Isla, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, great to be back on.
How was the UK? How was your time there?
It was excellent for me. Yeah. Had a bit of sun, but then like a bit colder on race day, but suits me. And yeah, it was fun. Good weekend.
So today we were gonna kind of give a little bit of a rundown of maybe some of the stories coming into the World Cup stop in Weston Park. Then we were gonna look at some of at the course and describe some of the racing. I think if we can start with some of the stories, one that stands out to me is we've just had a lot of the athletes come from Greece over to the UK, and for me, one question is: do you think that there were people there that were particularly happy or particularly unhappy with their result in Greece? And that I think includes you, because I think for you, you were touted as one of the favorites, and then we went back and forth over text message. What happened on the day, etc. So, do you know what's your insight on that?
Well, I think I've not really done that type of back-to-back weekend racing XTERRAs before, so it was a bit of a challenge. Yeah, it was just I didn't really do anything different into each race. It's just that's just what happened each race. They're very different courses, so uh, like the recce's were quite important to get your head around a different course, especially after like the quick turnaround. Um, but yeah, I think there are people in both races, I guess, that had better performances in one or the other. But for me, like I'm not really sure why. It's just maybe it's the home crowd.
I think both of the winners of XTERRA UK must have been pretty disappointed in Greece, and
Yeah.
he went really well out of UK races
Yeah, that's true.
for different reasons. But
Yeah, but have you figured out kind of what happened in Greece? Because I've speculated on this for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's my job to speculate on this, but do you know what happened?
let's
I
just remind that you finish fifth in Greece, right?
yeah
Yeah, which probably was behind everyone's expectations, including yours.
yeah yeah I don't know what happened. I think it's probably one of those things of just being a female athlete. Like some days you just have a day off, and yeah, but that's kind of like as far as I know. I don't have any heart rate or power data, like you said. But obviously, there's nothing wrong, seen as my performance in Weston Park. So I'm not too worried and kind of like moved on and just accepted that I had a bit of an off day.
You know,
Uh, wh-
exactly the same happened to me last year. I was fourth in Greece, like really disappointed because I rode like 8 minutes slower than the year before, and then went to UK and had a really great race in the UK. So it just happens, I guess. And I mean, we can see for many people. We saw Emma De Croo winning Greece and now finishing fifth, which probably she wasn't very happy about.
She
So,
yeah, she had stomach issues. I think it's from the lake. So
uh, okay. But yeah, things like that happen, and that's part of racing, isn't it?
what was your mindset going into the race, though? Because yeah, obviously you just had like a result that maybe wasn't up to your standard. Did you still trust your preparation going into the race, or were you kind of feeling a little bit down about maybe something?
I mean, I kind of tried to reset. I had a few days at home and then focus on the next race and maybe come to think about if I need to Greece another time, maybe at the end of the season, like reflecting on the year as a whole. But yeah, no, it's just like moving on, like parking it, accepting that's what's happened, and yeah, try my best preparation again for coming into Weston Park weekend.
So I guess that we'll also park the topic of Greece. So moving on to the course
But I just
of
want to say one more thing.
yeah.
There's a quite few athletes that decided to travel straight from Greece to UK, and then there is a second group of athletes who went home and stayed home for 2 3 days and then traveled to Weston Park. It's something I have done last year. I also felt like I need that time off, and even 3 days at home will help me to like reset. And it's interesting how other people choose different approach, and what works for them. I mean, it's a bit of easy choice for you being from UK and spending sometimes home and then not having such a long travel. But I think for many Europeans, it was an option to go home and then travel further.
Yeah, especially as you couldn't get onto the course until the Thursday. So like if
Mm.
you'd gone straight from Greece, then you, I mean, there's plenty of mountain biking trails around that area, so like that's okay. But I think for usually a race, you would practice on the race course. Um, but yeah,
I mean, there are people like Hannah, right, who can't really just go home to Australia for 2 days. But I think for some of the Europeans, it might be in on a way to stop at home
mm,
and travel further. But and now it's the same for US. We have a next XTERRA World Cup race in the US in 2 weeks, and some people just travel straight from UK to US, and some go home and travel a bit later. Um, but yeah, that's how it is with the World Cup calendar, so packed and traveling back to back. A lot of
Scott is traveling. Scott is traveling as we're speaking, which I was a little bit surprised by that he's like going straight away. No
fun.
time at home, nothing.
Yeah, I think for him, he has a homestay in the US, and I think he did something similar last year. He stayed 10 days before the race, and I know Hannah really enjoys Alabama, so um, yeah, some do, some don't.
You were fighting with the U.S. Isla, you're not going to the U.S., are you?
You
yeah,
For this?
are.
I am.
You are. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness, you are.
Yes, she.
yeah,
I
Oh,
actually reached out to me a couple of days ago. She was like, "Oh, how do you like travel around? Do you need to rent a car?" So I was like, "Oh yes, she's going. She's doing the whole thing."
I can't believe it.
yeah. So I'm planning at the moment to do the rest of the World Cup, and to get the overall, then I I have to go to Oak Mountain as well as Malveno to like
Mm.
get the
You
two.
know, I was thinking about it earlier today. Like we have a joker rule this year. You can miss one full distance race, one short track race, but we're not gonna see the results of these decisions until the very end. So like you missed Australia, so now you will be bit behind in the World Cup ranking because you don't have that one race. But actually that doesn't matter because one race will not count. And it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of calculations to see how
Yeah,
that develops, right?
yeah. It'd be tricky throughout the season to know exactly where you are because obviously until the last race, then you won't know which ones. I mean, I know from me, like obviously I didn't go to Australia, but yeah, it makes it quite exciting.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
I'm surprised. So, what made you make the decision to kind of follow the entire World Cup? Because was that like the plan throughout the entire winter, or did that change at some point?
I just really enjoy XTERRA. I think the culture and the vibe is just something that I like really enjoy going to races to experience. And yeah, I'm trying to still balance that with the road, but trying to take inspiration from like Flora Duffy, doing some Xterra, come back. So
Look
yeah,
at Hayden Wild.
yeah, Hayden Wild, yeah. So it's just like enjoying it, using it as development experience, and not ruling out either never doing cross triathlon, never doing road. It's like trying to keep all my options open.
Oh, that is so great to hear. I'm really
Super
excited
smart.
for you. It's going to be fun to follow. Um, what's your plan with traveling to US then? You are staying home right now and traveling a bit later on?
Yeah, so I'm racing a road triathlon this weekend, and then flying out the following next Monday.
Oh,
Um, so it's the British European road triathlon like trials. So
Mm.
I would quite like to do that and see how I get on. But yeah, it does make it quite a busy, like 6 races over 4 weeks. I mean, most people would have five, but yeah, just with extra travel and things, flying out on a Monday to give the most time to adjust to like the time zone and things like that.
Do you have a direct fly from UK to Alabama or
No, I think we're stopping off in Philadelphia and then going on from there.
Birmingham?
Yeah, that just worked better for us. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Well, good luck. That's a very packed schedule. But should we go back to Weston Park and try to wrap up how it developed there?
I think the course at Weston Park really relates to what Isla's saying here because it's so different
Mm.
to all of the other Xterra courses, and I really like it for that reason. I also think that it makes it very uniquely positioned to be a race where road triathletes can come and
Mm.
actually compete with some of the Xterra athletes, and I think it like really merges both of those worlds really well.
Mm.
So, Isla, can you try to describe the course and maybe why we think that might be the case?
Yeah, so the course, looking at it, like, is not that technical. However, that means that you have to push the entire time, and it's actually a really physically demanding course, even though it's a really fast course. Um, it has lots of sections on grass, which really saps the energy out of your legs, and it's not super smooth grass, so it's like you're having to push your power whilst the bike's kind of jittering around a bit. And it's got a few like twisty single track sections, which for the short track was really the short track was on the same loop as some of the run course for the full distance, and that was really loose because it had been really dry, so it was quite easy to slide out. And then on the race day, then on for the full distance, then it did actually rain, so I don't think anybody would have practiced it in the rain, and it was a lot different, like really slidey, and quite unpredictable to, especially on the more like twisty single track sections. But I found it really fun, and you could find some flow, not any super huge hills or anything, just kind of trying to keep a constant power, and yeah, it was quite fun.
The the only complaint I heard, I'll mention it, was from Morgan. He said that the swim was just absolutely manky. I'm not sure what the word manky means. Maybe I shouldn't have used it on the
It's a bit like
podcast.
gross,
Gross.
gross.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's a very British word. I like
He
that.
said. Yeah. He said he had just pieces of green everything floating around and all around his neck during the swim.
Yeah, the swim's quite weedy. It's not very deep, but it did get churned up a little bit, so it's a little bit like easier to swim through after there'd been a few races on Saturday morning. But yeah, but that's what you get from swimming in a pond instead of a sea. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like there is no other option, right? Like it's just this one little very shallow lake, and
Mhm.
it gets very murky when you swim in it, but I
And it's
mean
for
there's
everybody.
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I so let's talk about the swim. Let's maybe dive into the women's short track. And Isla, I'll let you lead here. It seems like the recurring theme of today is going to be swims and them being just completely brutal. That was something I heard from all of the races. I think Marta said in the Finnish interview that somebody broke her nose in the swim on the short track. So how was the swim, Isla? I mean, you were probably off the
Well,
front.
for me and Emma, it was fabulous. Like, uh, yeah, we let out the swim. It, it was a very it was we had planned to go out hard just because to avoid all of that like arms and argy bargy stuff because it wasn't that far to the first buoy. Um, it was a little bit. I think I'd heard from some people it was a little bit tricky getting out of the water if you're in a pack just because it's kind of hard to sight the pontoon thing. But this year we were allowed to dive, whereas last year we had
I
to jump.
wanted to ask, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was any deeper, but that did make a difference. Able to carry a bit more speed, have a bit more rhythm, especially
The
because like
pontoon looked slippy.
yeah, yeah, it was quite slippy. I had deck on a practice, but you just have to kind of dive before you hit the water, dive before the pontoon goes into the water, so you're still on like the dry bit. But yeah, it made such a difference being able to dive.
Hmm. But so you got out of the water with Emma.
Yeah,
You rode together, and then the decisive move was on the run.
yeah, it was kind of halfway around the second lap of the run. Um, I was actually quite. I think both me and them actually crashed on the bike um, on the first lap of the short track. Um,
Really?
yeah, it was just like a bum hole dip thingy. Just well, I think I hit it too fast. I'm not sure. I think Emma might have shoulder barred a tree or something. Um, but yeah, no, the deciding bit did come on the run. We were neck and neck the whole way. It was really, really exciting. But no, just managed to find a little bit extra on.
Have you
Yeah.
managed to watch the live stream, Oliver?
Yeah, I was watching the live stream. So XTERRA, they basically put on a live stream with Doug and with Nico,
Mm.
um, and I was trying to decipher as much as I could from what was happening. So one of my questions was, how was the work rates? Because it seemed like you guys were working fairly equally, but was there any strategy going into, oh, I'm not going to take a pull and I'm going to save a little bit for run, or was it just like completely
I
equal?
think towards the second, so like the first couple of laps, it was quite equal, and then maybe towards the end of the short track, I did not take a pull. Uh,
Ah, smart, smart.
Partly because I was thinking about the run, and partly because I was thinking about Sunday, but also um, I we could see the on like an out and back loop section that the chase pack were getting further away. So I was like, well, it's going to be a running race now. But yeah, the first half of the bike leg, we did work together, and then it was just
And
kind of
just to give a little bit of background, so the way the race looked at this point, it was Isla basically and Emma for basically 90% of the race. They were off the front together, while Romy was alone behind them. Her gap kind of changed, I think, from it grew all the way up to 1.5 minutes at one point. And there was a big group of four women behind her. I'd say 20, 30, 40 seconds, depending on where you're timing it. And that included Hannah, it included Marta, it included Carrie Ann Upham, and it included a young British athlete, Mia. I'm going to attempt to pronounce her name. I will probably butcher this completely. Padmanabhan.
I
I'm
think it's
just going to.
Padma.
Padmanabhan.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm just gonna call her Mia
yeah.
because I don't think I can do that. But Mia was in that group with them, and um, I know the women were sharing the women in that group were sharing the work relatively equally. Um, and I talked to Hannah, and Hannah was so excited to be in that group, and she was just like, "I felt so strong, dude!" And I was like in a group with Marta, and I was just pulling and going off the front, and it's awesome to see that sort of thing. And uh, also testament to Romy. Um, it's and from the feedback of Hannah, you can clearly tell, and what you just said, you can clearly tell that when you sit on somebody, you're just saving so much more
Yeah,
energy. So for Romy to stay in front of that group, I mean, it just goes to show how strong she is on the
mm,
bike,
definitely.
right? But I'll hand it back over to you. So you guys are coming into T2. Um, at this point, you guys probably didn't see this, but Nico LeBroom made a fantastic joke. Him and Doug were talking about if there was, how what you would do in this situation where there's two of you off the front, and Nico said that he would just employ standard French tactics and take a stick and put it into your back wheel, which I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
fantastically open.
Brutal French honesty, eh?
Yeah, I didn't expect to hear that. But back to you. So where did the winning move happen?
So yeah, first lap, Emma was right on my shoulder. We were right together, and I think she said to me just at the end that it just got to a point where she couldn't stay with me anymore. I have to say, I did hear her starting to drop off, and that kind of gave me like a bit more incentive to maybe just push on, maybe get a little 5-10 meter gap, more a mental gap than anything. So I knew it wasn't like she still had like probably half a lap to get back on, but once I felt like the elastic band had snapped, then
Gives
uh,
you boost of
it
confidence,
did,
doesn't it?
yeah, and
Was
especially
it the
because there
breathing?
were so many people cheering for me around the course as well. Um, being a home
I
race.
mean, winning on a home soil, it
Yeah,
is for sure.
Aneta.
Yeah.
Was it the breathing that gave it away, or what do you
I
mean
think
that you heard it?
yeah, because that part of the woods was quite quiet. Um, yeah, so I think yeah, no, I shouldn't be giving away all my tactics. But
Well, first win for you, first win in a World Cup. Um, I was the one predicting it, so um, uh,
Didn't I predict it as well?
I think we all did,
I
didn't
think
we?
we all did.
We just really like we're hoping that you can have a good race and win on a home soil. So really happy that you did. Um, should we just go straight away to the Sunday's women's race?
I think we should do the men really quickly because then I think it'll be Isla will bring up more insight
Yeah.
onto the women's race afterwards. So I'll read out the results of the women's race really quickly. Isla wins, fantastic fashion. Sorry about putting so much pressure on you to win.
fine, at
We
Emma
least
should
you found
be
out
decreased.
about
listening.
the pressure afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, Emma in second. Huge step up from Emma. Like, really, it's very clear that she's stepped it up. Marta in third. In my opinion, Marta rode the smartest race out of all the women in that group. It seemed to me like she was maybe taking the fewest pulls. Also, with a broken nose. Absolutely
You also had a
ridiculous.
really rapid run.
Yeah, yeah. So it suits her. And although the course doesn't on the bike because she's like relatively small, and this course just suits a big power rider, like we'll see later in the men's. Romy holds on for fourth. Mia Padmanabhan tried in fifth. Fantastic. A Dutch triathlete, Dieske Kruiselbrink, in sixth, Carrie Ann in seventh, Hannah in eighth, Lizzie Orchard in ninth, and Melissa De Bruin Rocks in 10th. I'd say really strong field, actually, as a matter of fact. Do we have anything to add, or shall we move on to the men's?
Let's move on to the men's.
Move on to the men's. Okay, so the men's affair, relatively standard, what you would expect. So Michele Bonacina comes out of the water with Felix Forzier, and the two of them just ride off of the front. There's, I think, two topics here that I want to talk about. Michele and Felix, they ride away from everybody. They work together. It seemed to me like they worked 50-50. I didn't talk to them, but it seemed to me like they worked 50-50. And behind them, Federico Spinazza was a kind of no man's land. He rode with Hugo Boscher, who came out of a swim with him, but just got completely dropped on the bike. And there was a big group behind him with Maxime Chanet, Arthur Fraisier, and Nicolas Duret. And Federico kind of gets caught. And I don't know if this was because he should have waited for the group, and so he used too much energy on the first half of the bike, or if it was just maybe he didn't have the best run anyway. But he gets caught by that group, and yeah, I think finishes what is seventh or eighth here in total. My topic here to talk about. Michele and Felix have about a 30-45 second gap, depending on where you measure it, coming into T2. I'm I don't want to criticize Michele for pulling with Felix because I think it's really important for the athlete to have a good result on the board. I think he, by working with Felix, kind of secured that. And although he had actually a really good run, kind of making sure that he can get away as far as possible from the strong runners in that group behind him, I think that's smart. I think the only opposition one could have to that argument is, yes, but he should try to win. But I think that
In what universe would Michele Bonancina run faster than Felix Brescia?
I don't know, maybe if he doesn't work with him at all, but
That's not. I'm like no offense to Michele, but
it was 14 seconds.
it's
He
Felix
actually ran.
Brescia, you know.
He ran very well, I must say. Like
Yeah,
Michele
but
ran
he
very
ran
well.
against the world champ.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm just
It's
saying,
like
like,
it's like
maximize your
me trying
chances.
to outrun Laurent Duvoison. You know, like
Yeah.
that's
It
not
might
fun.
happen. It might happen. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
but
I think Michele did the right thing. For me, so the standout performances here is Nicolas Duret in third place. He had an incredible run, outrunning Arthur Fraisier and Maxime Chanet. We'll go to see how strong those guys are in the full distance.
but also good
Sebinef,
to see Michele on a podium again after not such a good race in Greece.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't want to criticize it because I think it's really important to get a good result on the board, right? And
Yeah.
just to secure that second place and just get it. And he was so strong on this race. Anyway, so Sebinev, huge engine, kind of came out of retirement for this race, basically, as he said. Uh,
He is in retirement, as he claims, but he seems to be better than before he retired. So
this is a strange retirement, isn't it? And Federico Spinazza behind him. Do you know who had the fastest run?
it was Morgan, right?
What the? How did Morgan Rhodes have the fastest run? How did this happen? This is like absolutely. And if you, I've published the gaps. The first half of Morgan's run is like not fast, but then he just absolutely closes the second half and has just an like by far the fastest second run lap. So ridiculous by him. Uh, I think also Lucas Mace, great performance, and I want to give a shout out to Mickey Fuchs. This is his first elite race, I think his second elite race after Greece, but really mixing it up with the big boys here. That's the men's race. Let's move on to the full distance of the women's.
Yeah. Or any other surprises? Did anyone underperformed significantly?
I think only question for me was Spinazza maybe should have tried to go back to that group a little bit earlier because it seems like he burned himself.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to judge in a short
Yeah,
race. There is no space for tactics or strategy. I feel like you just push all you can.
you just go hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Also, Maxim, we have to give a shout out to because
Very happy to see him back. I'm really glad his knee recovered because we had a similar injury. His was way worse, and I know how hard that can be.
yeah,
What did you want to say, Ayla?
I was going to say it was kind of a course that suited maybe a group of two better than a bigger group because every corner, then some people mentioned like you just get an extra second or so because you don't have a bigger group.
Mm,
So I think it's like quite similar between the two races with me and Emma and Felix and Michele. Like,
true. And Romy in between you and the group, and same for Spinoza in the men's race. Yeah, very similar dynamics.
yeah, very similar dynamics actually, if
Mm,
you think about it. Very
yeah,
strange. Okay, time for the women's race for the full distance.
yeah. I think
Thi-
that was quite surprising, wasn't it? Like after Emma's win in Greece and great short track, I just expected that she will be on the podium again. But and here I don't know anything about the race because all that XTERRA shared on the race day was three stories from women's race. That was that Isla is first out of the water. Isla is first in T2 with the 1 minute gap to Emma, who made a mistake. What mistake we shall not know.
I know. I watched it. I saw it.
And then Isla finished first. That was it. Thank you so much.
that's the race, isn't it?
So Isla, do you know, or guys, can you share what mistake Emma did?
So I think on the video, Emma forgot to put on her race belt. So
Yeah,
she had to run back.
in transition.
She was still in transition, but she had to run back. She lost.
Oh, but did you ride together then? Did you come to transition together? No.
No,
Okay.
there
So
was,
when did you drop her? Because you were out of the water together again?
No,
it was out of
No.
the water a little bit ahead of her. I think I was just leaving transition as she was coming up to her bike. Yeah, we were together on the first lap of the swim, and then I think I must have got a little bit of a gap on the second lap. And like obviously, if you're not drafting, then you're both having to put in the effort. So maybe that's what happened.
I have a question for you, Ayla.
Yeah.
Is Emma touching your feet as much as I do?
No, it's far nicer to have Emma on my team.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, on the bike, I maybe fueled by last week's bike. I just set off like I've got nothing to lose. I yeah, I think I had quite a good transition, and then I was almost expecting Emma to catch up, and then we'd work together, but we never and didn't really see Emma. Um, and
I think this course just like really suits you because you are a good mountain bike rider. You are very good, And even though it's not technical course, you can lose so much in those little corners. There's so many spots where you like have to slow down and go again.
Yeah.
And if you know how to ride, you can benefit out of it so much, I think. So I think this is a course that really like gives you an advantage, and we could have seen it on Sunday.
Yeah,
Isla,
and
did you blow up?
uh, no,
I mean, but
I
I'm looking at the gaps, you know?
the second half of the bike I maybe slowed a little bit, but
Yeah, I
I
can see that clearly. Yeah.
yeah from the splits.
Yeah.
Um, no, maybe I went a little bit hard on the beginning of the bike, but I kind of wanted the biggest gap going onto the run that I could, so that's kind of what I was thinking about on the bike because I knew Marta would be running through.
How was the run course comparing to last year? Because it has changed, right? The venue has moved
Yeah,
closer to
it's
the
all
lake.
down at the lake.
Okay, so how was it comparing to last year? Was it same flat? Was it
I'd say
you?
it had. We were joking about this in the briefing actually, because at the top of the hill there was the uh, water station, and then Nico goes like, "What hill?" Because it's like it's the hill that we rode up last year on the big long grassy hill.
Oh, well, I mean that is a hill.
It is a hill, yes, just not
Yeah. And
just
comparing to like just to compare, last year the run was
we're completely
flat,
flat.
absolutely flat. There was no hill at all.
Mhm.
So including this hill this year, that is some elevation. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It's not flat.
yeah, it's not flat. I quite liked the run course. It was twisty and a lot of single track, similar. Well, like the same. A bit of half of it was the same as the short track. Um, it's just type of terrain I really enjoy running on. You did kind of manage to find a flow. It wasn't too bumpy or anything underfoot. So I think some people were wearing carbon trainers.
Mm.
Um, I was not. Um, I've yeah, different story. Not running carbon trainers off road. Uh,
Well, I don't either. Like I think I ran only in Prachatica in carbon shoes because there is a big section of asphalt. But
Prachatica is crazy to run in carbon shoes, and
I
that's
mean,
great.
it's
That's
it's a
nuts.
really hard choice because you have almost half of the course on tarmac,
mm,
Hmm.
and then the second half, it is very steep hill, but it's still gravel. Like
yeah,
there
Yeah.
is no really off-road section besides like 50 meters in a maybe 100 meters in a forest. But it was like it's a question at every single race because there is no alternative. You either run in a carbon road shoes or you run in a terrain shoes. There's nothing in between. And I think in many races it's really like hard choice to make. But for example, in the US, there's a lot of people running in carbon shoes too. And I would consider it if it was dry.
mm,
But if last year, for example, it was very rainy, so it was an easy choice. But in UK, there was a lot of people last year
mm,
using carbon shoes as well. I can't imagine it on a rainy day and a hilly course. Like
yeah,
that's an odd choice for me.
yeah.
But yeah, it is always like difficult choice to
Mm.
make.
Can I have a weird question? Is it allowed to have two pairs of shoes in transition just in case it rains during a race?
It is actually. You just need to make sure that the other pair goes
Ends
in.
up into the box.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I have done that in Moloveno the very first year we raced there. It was 2021 European champs, ETU European champs, and the course was different than it is this year or now. Not now that we raced there. There was most of the run was on the gravel, but then there was this one section that was really off road, and I had carbon shoes in case it's dry and terrain shoes in case it rains. And it started to rain during the race, so I actually didn't finish, so I didn't use any of my shoes, but but it is allowed, yeah.
We should go back to the race. So, Isla, just to give the recap, Isla came out of a swim with about a 30-second gap on Emma, absolutely smashed the first half of a bike. There's no real group dynamics to speak of, like there's not a big group somewhere. Um,
I think
She,
Marta
yeah.
and Romy were one.
Marta and Romy rode together for the duration of the bike, and I think that really helped, especially
How
Marta.
far was Martha out of the water?
Out of the water 2 minutes around, along with Romy. So like they were had an identical race, and so when Isla smashed the bike, that gap extends to 2 minutes 50, which is a really big gap.
That's a good swim for Martha, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how it was in the previous races, but Marta usually was more than 2 minutes behind, right? Like usually it was me and Ayla last year, then 2 minutes was Alize Solen if she was racing, and Marta was further behind, right? So 2 minutes behind Ayla, that's a good swim.
I think it helped them that they were on together on the bike for sure, because then, uh, Isla, were you aware that Marta was just like completely charging you down because she just takes this gap from into 2 minutes to finishing 17 seconds behind you, and you can just see it just go shh like that. She
Yeah,
must
that
have been moving.
very. So on the bike, I did have people, my dad giving me uh, splits. So
Mhm.
that's different from last year. Um, so that was quite helpful because most of it then Emma was kind of staying the same, and then Marta was closing. So that it was good to know and to like kind of gauge my effort to know that even though you couldn't see anybody because the course, just because of the nature of the course, then it was good to kind of have an awareness of what else is going on in the race. Um, but yeah, on the run, that was it wasn't stressful because like it's part of the race, and I'm quite used to being hunted down from like the races I did last year. Um, but no, it was I really wanted to win because it would be like the first full distance in the UK. And yeah,
Perfect weekend.
perfect weekend. At one point, I actually thought because one bit then I like glanced back, I thought Marta was coming for me, but it was actually someone else from the organic coach, like one of their tri suits. So I was like, oh, I still actually have a minute on Marta. That wasn't Marta.
Who did you confuse with Marta? Who's
I don't know.
who's who
It wasn't. It
actually?
wasn't a very thorough look. It was someone else
Was it just
wearing
was
one of the guys wearing the sleeve suit, and I knew Marta was in that suit, so I kind of didn't look too hard. It was just someone running really fast, and I was like, "That's
So,
Marta."
so you didn't get any splits on the run.
Yes, I did. I was like counting down. It's like 1:06, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 17 seconds.
I have to say, it's like you haven't raced in US. It's a very similar course, in my opinion, because it's very twisty. It's a one loop. You don't meet at any point, or there's a one point where you can see the other part of the course, but not for long. So you don't actually get to know who's behind you or in front of you. And it's since it's just one loop, you don't get any splits or like maybe
Yeah,
one. And I had this similar race last year with Romy, who was like running, chasing me down, and until the very end, like I think it came down to 20 seconds or something. So yeah, that's a hard race to push so hard at the end of XTERRA full distance race.
but then again, it's exciting to be that close over such a long race. Um,
Let's talk about the splits at the end. There was like the top 10 men were within like 2 minutes, wasn't it? It
um
was so crazy tight.
first seven, top seven is separated by 2 minutes,
Yeah.
which is yeah, super tight. And
It's
the women's, I mean, Marta coming so close to Isla as well makes it really interesting, in my opinion.
mm,
Like it must have been really an incredible run by Marta. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
whoa. And it's not just compared to Isla. I mean, Isla had a good run. Romy ran similar. Carrie Ann ran similar. Mia ran similarly. Um, but just Marta smashed it. It was crazy to see.
And
Anyway, yeah,
so the only person that didn't have a good run was Emma, that went from second place in T2 to
to fifth,
fifth
to
place.
fifth. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I don't know what happened, if she just bonked.
she had
But
stomach cramps. I think
oh,
she'd been sick
oh
over
yeah, you mentioned
in
it. Yeah.
between the short track and Sunday, yeah, so she just wasn't feeling too great.
Mm.
Probably influences your nutrition as well. On race day, I
Yeah,
imagine you're not able to keep as many things down, and that just shows up in the
yeah.
run more than
Mm.
anything.
Mhm.
Okay, do you want to run down the top 10?
Isla Hedley wins again. Fantastic result. Marta Mendito pushes her close in second. Romy Spulder, very strong in third. Really
First
nice result.
podium, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I think she might have podium in the US.
No, she was fourth.
She was fourth. Okay. Okay. First podium.
Wasn't
Really
she?
strong.
Wait, now I'm confused. No, I don't know. You're right. She was third. I was second. She was third. Yeah.
Yeah. Carrie Ann, fourth. Also sneakily a very good performance on home soil. Carrie Ann, really nice. Emma in fifth, maybe won't be super happy with that, but I think strong weekend and everything she showed, except for maybe the run, which might have been influenced for because of the stomach cramps, as you mentioned. Really nice level. Mia in sixth. Hannah or sixth, yes, sixth. Hannah in seventh, so really nice result for Hannah. Um, the Dutch athlete Kruiselbrink in eighth, Dant in ninth, and Lizzie Orchard in 10th. Sorry about not pronouncing all of those names probably correctly. Moving on to the men's, unless we have anything else.
Nope.
I don't think we do. Okay, let's move on to the men's. I will try to be quick. Who the hell is Charlie Harding? Sorry, who is this guy? He had the fastest swim and the fastest run by like a mile. Can this guy learn how to ride a mountain bike? Because he's going to just absolutely smash everybody.
Is he a
I
road
mean,
triathlete?
he must be a road triathlete because he lost 7.5 minutes on the mountain bike, but then ran faster than Felix
Maybe
by
did
one
he
and a
use
half
the
minutes.
mechanical? Do we know?
Oh, we don't know. I didn't
I
talk to him.
think I saw a post on Instagram. He was borrowing a bike, so
Oh,
I don't know if he has a mountain bike.
Mm.
get him on XTERRA. He's so strong. Anyway, so kind of the standard thing happens. Felix leads. Him, Maxime, and Artur all come into T2 together, along with Michele. They worked together on the bike. It was a big group of four, and then just Felix completely smacks the first half of the run, makes a gap on Maxime, and it seems like he either eases up or maybe Maxime actually pushed him close. Maxime finishes second behind Felix, 16 seconds down. What a performance by Maxime after that injury, after coming back. Artur, 40 seconds down behind him. Artur is a crazy runner. So again, highlighting the level of Maxime and of Felix. Lucas Meis, sneakily a really good performance by the Belgian. I think this is his best performance to date. Sebinef in fifth. Again, showing how much this course suits him. He just I think maybe he had the fastest bike split. No,
Yeah.
Caraban had the fastest bike split. I see here.
Oh, didn't he have a fastest bike split in a short track then?
I think he did on
Shed
the short
had
track.
it.
On the
Yeah.
short track, but he's so strong and big guy, a lot of power. Really like suits him this course. Um, Elliot Labourette also very good performance in sixth. Michele comes in seventh. I think maybe not a great run for him, but like he rode with the top guys, and so that's really nice as well. Nicolas Duret maybe would have expected a little bit better in eighth. Caraban in ninth, and Morgan Rhodes. Shout out Morgan. That's a really nice performance.
And
Rounding out the top
11.
10. In 11th,
Yeah, what was 11?
Bart Koymans.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't
Yeah,
that like one of his best results?
I think so. He didn't. It seemed like he had a really good bike, only coming 40 seconds behind the top
Mm.
in T2. I think run, is something I think he should work on. But really nice by Bart.
My question is, why Arthur doesn't swim better? It seems like it really limits his performance. And it's
2 minutes.
yeah.
2 minutes on the front.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not something that would be seasonal. Like it is long-term issue for him, right? Like I don't know how does he work on it? Like it would put him in so much better position if he swam just a little bit better.
I think it's the same thing as Jens. I think he just maybe
But
doesn't
Jens doesn't swim.
enjoy it. Exactly. I think, but it's a question, right? Like, what motivates you, and
Yeah.
that's why you see Felix maybe like eases up towards the end, and that's why he goes on to doing 70-point freeze. Same with Arthur, same with Jens. Like they're just not motivated by competing at a level that maybe isn't fair level. And so it's the same thing with Arthur. Like he just, I don't think he enjoys it, so he just doesn't do it.
Mm. It's just I don't know. Like I mean, of course, it's easy to say like why I don't am better, right? Like it would put me in better position, but um, I'm just like surprised he is in such a good shape. He can ride and he can run so well, but just a little bit better swim would put him in such a better position, um, and give him a better result overall.
And it's not like you need to be your like I obviously I'm on a podcast with two women that swim absolutely unbelievably well, but I mean you guys are just like the complete exceptions. Like I don't they don't he doesn't need to reach your level. He just needs to be more competent at it. I'm not saying he's incompetent. I can't swim. He's a god compared to me. But
No, that's what
it's
I mean. He doesn't need to be swim like Michela.
yeah, and it doesn't benefit you to swim like Michaela anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's like good swimmers don't necessarily perform on XTERRA. It just seems to be like the rule. Charlie Harding, best swimmer here, doesn't ride.
Hmm.
Not a good result for
So
him, or
that's what I
good
was
result, but
that's what I was trying to say. Like,
yeah.
and but I would be interested to hear from him. Like, how much effort does he put? Does he try to get swim better, or like is it just like does he just accept that's how it is and he's 2 minutes behind?
Artur, please come on the podcast. This is a formal
Yes,
invitation.
it is. We haven't had Arthur yet, so it would be
Yes.
great to hear from him. Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, Mickey Fuchs, 12. Also, shout out. Good performance by him, I think. Yeah, he's showing that he belongs on this level. Maybe somebody who will be disappointed will be Federico. Seems like, I don't know if the course didn't suit him. He didn't have a particularly good run.
And
Maybe some
probably
stomach
our
issues.
co-host Scott.
Yeah, Scott probably won't be particularly happy with his weekend. I don't know what happened to him.
I
Maybe some
haven't
stomach.
talked to him neither. I don't know.
Yeah, just didn't seem like his weekend overall.
Mm.
That's it for the racing, I think.
Yeah,
Anything else?
I think it's interesting to see how much the performance can change from one week to another. Like we saw some people performing really well in Greece, not doing so well in UK, and the other way around. And every race is so unique, and in Xterra especially, like you have such a diverse course each race, and it's just so it's different athletes, and it's so exciting to see that the top is so close to each other. And basically, in women this year, there is no one that would be so dominant like Alize or Soden before, and it's I have to say it's way more thrilling.
Alize is coming though, I think.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is. Yes.
But Isla is our savior. She will step up and compete. I hope.
Well said.
Isla, how do you feel about the upcoming World Cup? Like, given what's just happened, what's your feeling going forward?
I'm excited, yeah, like optimistic for how the rest of the season's going to go. Really looking forward to Mulvana. Like, I think that's maybe one of my favourite races that I've done. Just the environment and the course. Can't wait to go back there. But yeah, look, like even going to new places like China and things, like it's just as well as the races, it's just like experiencing different things, like working out travel things that might go wrong, and it's just like all learning for hopefully like a long career in Xterra. And yeah, like I think Annette said before, like it's all accumulative, like learning things. Like you're not going to win everything in your first season, but like you keep building on each one, get more experience, and yeah, hopefully that will.
Yeah, I think your disadvantage is that you haven't raced a lot of the locations before.
Yeah,
You haven't been to US, and the other girls have raced what 3, 4 times by now in Alabama. Um, but if you want some insight, just text me. I can
yeah.
share.
But I was thinking about that before Greece and thinking like, in some ways, obviously that's an advantage. You've raced there before, you know the course, you know how it's going to feel like. But then for me, I'm like, I don't know how painful it's going to be, so I can kind of go into it a bit more like blasé, being like, I know this is going to hurt, but like I don't know how much it's going to hurt. Whereas I mean, obviously having familiarity with the course and everything is helpful, but I try.
But I think you
There's
will.
nothing I can do about that, so I was trying to like spin it and
I think you will like Alabama though.
yeah,
Because
yeah. Everyone I've talked to said that
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good course.
It's a lot of flow trails. It's very smooth but twisty, and I think that's something that can suit you.
Mhm.
At the same time, there is a really long climb that is not technical. You need power. Um, yeah, I think you will like it.
Should we give a little bit of a preview or predictions for who will win at
Yes.
Alabama? I'm going to say Isla. I think Isla wins. Sorry.
Uh, do we
Fresh
have a
now.
do we have a start list?
I'm just looking at them. Yes. Yes, we do have a start list.
Are there any Americans coming?
Amanda Felder and Susie Snyder. And Amari Grabber are the only people I see here.
Okay, I think those are people that can perhaps fight for top 5, but probably not for the win.
Yeah.
So I will also vote for Isla. And I will say she will have another perfect weekend. She will win full distance and the short track.
Is Felix doing it? I don't see him here. No, he's not doing it.
I think
No.
there are 70.3 or something on the same weekend.
Yeah.
Might be wrong.
Because the Middaugh family is doing it. And
Okay,
so
then Sullivan Meadow is gonna take a win.
Sullivan would have pushed Felix so far, I think.
Yeah,
Oh no,
sure.
that would have been such a good battle, and now it's just going to be Sullivan smacks everybody.
But can Sullivan win full distance?
I think that's a challenge, isn't it? Like,
I'm sure he will win short track. Like he is unbeatable in short track.
Short track suits him for sure, but
Yeah, but can he take the full distance? Who is he gonna have as a main competitor?
Artur, Michele will figure. Michele probably might podium this, I think. But it's not like a particularly stacked field, to be completely honest. I'm calling it right here. Morgan Rhodes, top 5.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with Sullivan having the perfect weekend.
It's hard to look past it, isn't it? Isla, what do you think for the men's?
I'm not sure.
Is this not an area of expertise?
This is not an area. Yeah, this is.
Let's not put Isla in a position like we not in the US, like they can't complain to us directly, but she will, so we will spare you.
Just trying to see if I can see a better start list, but I don't think
Is
so.
Maxim Shannon going?
No, I didn't see him here.
That's
It's really
That's
weak.
interesting because, for example, for Felix, that means he is not gonna be eligible for the World Cup overall prize money purse.
Yep.
He's not gonna have 2 Conti champs.
Clearly, it's Artur's goal to race as much as possible, and the only guy who
Artur might finally win his World Cup overall title. He was so close so many times.
I think he already has it like practically locked up at this point. Like unless Michele can take a huge step up.
Everyone thought Aliza has it, and then she got injured and didn't race last 3 races.
Okay, fair. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't want to speculate on somebody getting injured.
lots of the races left have got lots of points because you've got the 2 Conti champs which have more points, and also the final which has more points as well.
I just think that if he goes through the entire World Cup season and he doesn't get injured, there's no way he doesn't win.
It's Artur.
Yeah, I know he always gets injured. That's the problem. He always crashes.
In the Czech Republic.
Tour, please don't come to the Czech Republic. Please don't do it. That's your joker.
Your joker.
That's your joker. Please use it on the Czech Republic and please don't come. Because it's gonna please don't do it.
Well, he hasn't crashed last year, has he?
No, he didn't crash last year.
So good luck to Artur.
Yeah, good luck.
And good luck everyone racing in US, especially you, Isla. Thank you for coming for the podcast. I think this is a wrap for today.
Thank you very much for listening. Isla, thank you for taking the time. It was fantastic to talk to you.
And Artur, we will be waiting for you.
Yeah, and Isla, please come on to this is a formal invitation for the US recap because we need somebody on the ground.
Yeah, that would be good.
Would be awesome.
Who wins?
I would love to do a podcast episode with the four of us, with Scott as well, because then he'll have insight from the men's race.
Mm.
It sucks that he's traveling right now, and yeah, we recorded a podcast episode of Hannah where there were the four of us, and it was just absolute chaos. But I think we can do it. I believe in us.
Yeah, sure. We will try.
Okay, thanks for listening. Ciao, ciao. Isla, thank you.
Ciao.